Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here talking about some NFL news, so we're going to get right to it here. So, Jedrick Wills, the hashtag brand starting left tackle, suffered an injury yesterday, and we have an update on that. He has a MCL injury, and will be placed on the injured reserve per the team. So, now that's two big injuries on the offensive line. While it doesn't say he's out for the season, he's on injured reserve, which means he'll miss like 4 or so weeks. They've already lost Jack Conklin for the season. Now Jedrick Wills has an injury. And they're about to face the team with the most sacks in the NFL. With Van Noy, Owa, and Clowney. Like, that's the Browns' next game. So it's going to be tough with those injuries. With their next game coming up against Baltimore on the road. And he started playing better right before the injury, too. So it just stinks for the Browns. So, per your report, hashtag Chargers GM Tom Telesco apologized to the team for signing cornerback J.C. Jackson per Chris or him won before, they trade him back to New England. So, Telesco signed Jackson to a $82.5 million contract in free agency last year, but Jackson struggled with poor play and injuries. Eventually, the hashtag Chargers traded him back to the hashtag Patriots earlier this season for a late round swap. Telesco apologized to signing a, quote, swing and a miss, and apologized to the other DBs on the team. Apologizing to the team is crazy. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that before. I mean, I don't think he had to apologize to the team. I mean, I don't know why you're apologizing to the team for trying to bring someone on to make them better, which he didn't, but he thought they would. But whatever. So, we had some breaking news about an hour ago. It was reported yesterday Daniel Jones, they feared he tore his ACL after he suffered a non-contact knee injury. Let's win some breaking news an hour ago. Hashtag Giants confirmed QB Daniel Jones has a torn ACL. And it's awful news for the Giants, especially considering, the $160 million investment in him this offseason. That could have been his last game as a Giant. But, never know, maybe they could keep him. I don't know. I think it should be his last game. Because he just ain't good. He just ain't a good quarterback, man. It's just the truth. But I do hope he has a speedy recovery, though. I hate players getting hurt. So we have an update. Hashtag Giants won't confirm if QB Tyler Taylor will return this season from his rib injury. Now with Daniel Jones out for the rest of the season, it appears Tommy DeVito will be their starter until the end of the season. Tommy DeVito. It's one a nightmare season for the Giants. Tommy DeVito at one point was 1 of 3 with 2 INTs in the third quarter, I think, of that game. Come on, he sucks. So for the Manning cast tonight, Chargers and Jets week 9, your guess will be Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper. Trevor Lawrence and Keyshawn Johnson will be your guest for the Manning cast tonight. I mean, good guess, but trash game. So, an update. The hashtag Cowboys are expected to work out former hashtag Steelers wide receiver Martavis Bryant. Per Dan Rossini, he's 6'4" and runs a 4.42, has been recently reinstated by the NFL after dealing with an indefinite suspension. He last played in 2018 as 17 career TDs. He's kind of an underrated player when he played. But he played in the XFL and wasn't even the best receiver on his team. But we don't need him to be the best receiver on our team. We have CD and Brandon Cooks has been reliable the last few weeks. We don't need him to be our best receiver. Maybe he can come in and be a good depth piece. I don't know. So, Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert suffered an injury, like his forearm. And I believe it was some type of forearm injury. It was just a hard tackle. It wasn't a dirty tackle. Eagles fans were trying to say, "Oh, it was a normal. It was a dirty tackle." No, it wasn't. It said, per report, hashtag Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert has a fracture in his forearm and will undergo an MRI. Per Adam Schefter, the MRI will determine if there is further damage to his injury. He's going to miss time regardless. So he's going to be on injured reserve, I believe, and he'll be out for about 4 or so weeks. So it's going to be like a 4 or 5 week recovery. I think. So, Giants right tackle Evan Neal suffered a left ankle sprain versus Las Vegas, per source. Neal had previously missed time with a right ankle injury. His downfall needs to be studied, man. He was so good at Alabama. What happened to Evan Neal, man? He's going to be flipping burgers and hot dogs next year. Get it? Steelers have placed linebacker Cole Holcomb on injured reserve due to the knee injury he suffered Thursday night and activated running back Anthony McFarland from injured reserve. So, it was a knee injury. He'll be on injured reserve probably for the rest of the season, honestly. Trying to find some more news here. Okay, there's all the injury updates from Adam Schefter, a few injury updates. So, per report, the hashtag Raiders indeed have a meeting where players and coaches ripped into Josh McDaniels. So they probably had like a players, coaches meeting where they're ripping into Josh McDaniels. At one point, Antonio Pierce spoke up about the Patriots. After the meeting ended, McDaniels told him, quote, "Don't ever talk about the Patriots like that," via Jay Glazer. So McDaniels basically told him, "Don't talk about those New England Patriots like that, Mr. Pierce." Glazer also adds that Pierce has a legit shot at keeping the head coaching job long term if he proves himself. McDaniels will never get an NFL head coaching opportunity again. There's no way. And, that looked like they were having a lot of fun without Josh McDaniels, in the locker room. But smoking cigars after beating the Giants. Well, maybe they're smoking on that Josh McDaniels pack. Maybe they're smoking that Josh McDaniels pack. After he got fired. So the hashtag Dolphins have played 9 games this season. They are 6-0 versus teams with losing records, and 0-3 versus teams with winning records. It's just against the real competition, man. They haven't played good. They haven't had that clutch gene in those big games, man. And they haven't beat a team with a winning record in over 400 days, man. You gotta win games like... You gotta win some games like that, man. You gotta win those games against good teams. And they just haven't been able to. And that's why people are saying, "Oh, they're frauds, they're not that good," because they haven't been any good teams. They're 6-0 versus teams with losing records, but they've actually played teams that are, really good, and they've lost all of them. So, they need to get that signature win. So, NFL legend J.J. Watt says the NFL is, quote, stealing money from players with, quote, absurd fines for routine football plays, which is hashtag trending. Watt adds those fines have nothing to do with player safety, pointing to cut blocks being a legal play, and those literally target players' knees. Watt said it's getting out of control to fine a player $21,694 for this basic play, which, Patrick Ricard got fined for some reason. If you didn't see the play, I don't even know what he got fined for. And it's always been this way. I think he's right. He's right. It's ridiculous. Fines are out of control. Like, Patrick Ricard literally got fined for going up the middle and blocking, it looked like. I don't even know what he did. If it was a joke. So, now we'll get to the lowest passer rating allowed by linebackers entering Week 9. Michael McFadden at 1. Oren Burks, AJ Speed, Blake Cashman, Terrell Bernard, Robert Spillane, Devin White, Ernest Jones, Logan Wilson, and Quan Alexander is your top 10 on lowest passer rating allowed by linebackers. Giants got some ballers, man, on defense with Michael McFadden. He really went from, like, god-awful to this, and Okariki's really good as well. That's all to say for this video, so until next time, Michael Peace.